Hey, welcome back to the Galley of the Sun. It is exactly 1 week from Halloween, which means what's on my mind? Turkey. Wait, what? Yep, it's turkey. So if we're a week from Halloween, that means we're exactly 1 month from Thanksgiving. So we need to get those Thanksgiving meals prepped, ready to go, right, thought out, and primary on my mind, because what's my responsibility here at the Oasis is the main course, the turkey. I'm going to walk you through how we do turkey here and talk to you about a no oil fried turkey. Sounds odd, right? It's crazy thoughts, but guess what? It turns out amazing. So yesterday, I took our turkey that we purchased at the grocery store, cleaned it up, put it into a brine, and let it brine for it's been about 17 hours. Now that it's finished brining, I'm gonna pull it out, dry it up. We'll get it prepped to go into the cooker that we'll talk about when we go outside and get it started cooking. First, let's talk about the brine. The brine we used is a Rodell turkey brine. It has orange peel, cranberry, sage, a little bit of rosemary, dried onion, and obviously salt. 2 cups of this brine in a gallon of boiling water. Let it cool completely. Put it in our briner bucket. Add a little bit more water to it, the turkey, and then ice on top, and let it chill for 12 to 24 hours. That's it. So now that the brining is done, let's go ahead and get the turkey out of the brine and get it cleaned up. This is my brining bucket. I know because it says the briner on it. This thing is fantastic. You see these ribs here? It has a plate that goes in the top that you can press down and lock in to make sure that the meat or whatever you have brining stays submerged completely. So I'm going to put some gloves on because it's going to be cold. Got to be like Scully and snap on some latex. All right, unlock that plate. It's the plate I was talking about. See how it goes in and then turns and locks. It's fantastic. Next, we'll get rid of some of those big chunks of ice on top. And now to pull the turkey out. All right, when this turkey went in, it was almost 13 pounds. And we're now probably close to 14 and a half, right? If not, maybe a little heavier. Right? It absorbed tons of moisture and tons of flavor from brining. That salt helps break down some of the tissue and allows flavor to penetrate into that. Let me get some of this big stuff off, and we'll wipe it down, and then we'll go to the next step. All right, so notice I'm working over a wire rack here. That is because once I dry it, if I wasn't working on it, I was just working on a tray, the moisture from the other side would still get right back onto the turkey. So the wire rack allows the water to drain through, and when I flip it, it won't go back on the side I just dried. I'm gonna get as much moisture out of the cavity as possible. Once it goes into the cooker, that moisture will turn into steam, which you don't necessarily want, because what we're gonna use to cook this is infrared. That's looking pretty good. So now, the next step. So normally at Thanksgiving, I have one of my daughters help me with the turkey. And I do that because I hate getting my hands messy. That's why normally you'll always see me cooking with gloves, right? And I just don't like my hands being sticky or anything else. So we're gonna call Charlotte in for this next part, because what we need to do is we're gonna take some softened butter and get it as much as we can underneath the skin to provide moisture for the turkey and help crisp up the skin. So now we'll turn it over to Charlotte.
And I just put on gloves because I don't want to take all my rings and stuff off. But I don't use the big fancy black gloves that we get. I just use regular nitrile gloves. That way I don't get the butter in my rings. And I don't have to take everything off to do it. Now if you've ever done this to a chicken or a turkey, you know that you've got to get like up underneath here and kind of separate some of the stuff that's binding it. Just stick your fingers in and kind of break up some of the, I don't know if you call it fascia or whatever, but you got to break that up a little bit. And you see the skin tears a little bit. That's okay. It's not going to be a big deal, but this is going to help it get nice and crisp and give good flavor. And yeah, so I'm just gonna open that up a little bit in the breast there. And we just take dollops, smush it down, all tucked in. There's no pretty or right way to do this. You just gotta do it. Like I said, this stuff likes to stick to your fingers. So you probably have to do like what I'm doing and kind of drag it in there and drag it and smush it around. Now, because we're doing this in the Big Easy SRG from Char-Broil, which Greg's going to show you when we get out there, I could even go in and just pin this skin back together so it helps protect the meat underneath. And come in here and get it like in by the legs and tuck it up. You can push it down across the legs. And you can see where the big dollops of butter are. Now, one thing you always want to do is coat the inside of the turkey. Get the cavity. Plus, when you're cooking this and the juices run out, always put a pan underneath it. The SRG has a pan that will collect all of this, so you'll get all of that wonderful turkey juices and butter and stuff to do this all up with. And it'll all kind of be pre-flavored because of the brining in there. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just need to get it all up in there. Getting it up around the breast and the legs will help everything. So there's 2 sticks of butter. You can use as much or as little as you want. Using 2 sticks is about good. I'm going to take these off so I can put the pins in. So these are trussing pins, and all I'm going to do is kind of try to come through here a little bit and kind of try to close that up a little bit right there in the neck. And then where it's split up here, work and see if I can't get some of that closed up. That way we've got that meat protected kind of right here. And I'm gonna go wash my hands and let Greg finish all of this up.
All right, now that the messy part's done, I can get back to work. So Charlotte talked about trussing, and one of the things we're going to do is we're going to truss these wings and get them, make sure they're tied up nice and close to the body of the turkey, and then we're going to tuck the legs in and truss them in so they're nice and tight. Because if they're left loose, they're going to be exposed to more heat and they're going to overcook. Cooking twine here. Take these, like I said, tie them up nice, tight to the body. That one's nice and tight. Let up. Butcher was nice enough to leave a nice little flap of skin here. Next, a basket. Now Charlotte was talking about what we call the SRG. So that is the Char-Broil Big Easy TRU-Infrared Smoker Roaster Grill. Looks like a kettle grill, sort of. It's called an oil-free turkey fryer. And what it does is it cooks with infrared cooking. When we get out to the SRG, I'll show you how it all works. But what we have to do is we have to get the turkey into this basket, which then lowers down into the SRG. We're going to go legs up, wings down. Try to set that right in and get it to where it's standing pretty well freestanding like that. All right, I'm gonna wash my paws and then I'll see you out at the SRG. Okay, so we're out here at our outdoor kitchen. And today we are, as I said, cooking this turkey in our Char-Broil Big Easy TRU-Infrared Smoker Roaster Grill. Like I said, it kind of looks like a kettle smoker. The difference is it's propane fed. At the bottom it has a propane ring and a empty cavity on the outside and then a cooking chamber in the middle. And what that does is it provides infrared cooking to whatever is in that chamber. There's a hole at the bottom that allows you to collect drippings and a pan at the back that allows you to collect them and use them for things like gravy or, wait for it, turkey bone gumbo. That's right, I'll say it again, turkey bone gumbo. Just let that sink in. Mike's gonna make that here in a couple days with the leftovers. Laser's reading about 375 degrees right now. Right, this will cook for 5-ish hours in here. Once it gets to about the last 15 minutes, I'm going to close the lid to finish crisping. Until then, we're going to cook it with the lid open and just allow the infrared heat to cook this and get that beautiful fried turkey experience without any of the oil. So no purchasing the oil, no dealing with the oil, no burning your garage down with the oil, no getting rid of the oil. It's a win-win-win-win-win situation. So let's get the turkey in and let's get cooking. Drop that basket in and we just let it go until it's ready. All right, it's time to pull this turkey out. You see I have some hot mitts on here, and that's because when you pull this out, I can guarantee that rack's going to be hot. I can guarantee it because I've done it without these ones, and yeah, the result was as expected. So here we go. Look at the gorgeous color on that turkey. Internal temp was right around 165, 170, right? Perfect right in the middle where you want the thigh and the breast to stay nice and juicy. We're going to get this inside, get it out of the rack, tent it on the tray here for 10-15 minutes, and then after that it'll be ready to slice. All right, so the turkey rested a little longer than I had planned. It looks like I finished before everybody else. Big shocker. So the turkey, I set it into a foil pan, covered it in aluminum foil, put it in a cooler, put a towel on top of it, much like I did when I cook a brisket, right? But it retained heat. It's still very warm. You can see the trussing, the pinning job that Charlotte did, held up great. Kept that skin together, protected that, and here's the truss for the wings. Get that cut and released. Maybe. There we go. All right. And as you can see, right, this bird is fall apart tender. So we're going to separate this leg and give it a taste. If I can find the joint. Oh, I got the thigh too. Some thigh meat here. Invite Charlotte over to give it a try with me. You can see how moist it is. So good. That brine really comes through. You get the sage, you get the orange peel, right?
Oh,
it's fantastic.
Oh my God, that's good.
Crispy. Get some skin here. You can see that infrared fryer or infrared cooker got the skin nice and crispy. Even sitting for, it was about 2.5 hours. It's still super moist. Did great. If you like what you saw today, give us a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. If you want to continue seeing our videos, hit the bell for notifications. Leave a comment and let us know how you do your Thanksgiving turkey. So until next time, we'll see you at the Galley of the Sun.